What's good, superstars? Back with another Disney Pinnacle video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good.
Man, I miss doing some Pinnacle videos on my little hiatus over here, but excited to be back. Watched a couple of your videos. Sad I missed the one with Dude Lifts. Really wanted to be on there with him. Hopefully he comes back on again. Hashtag soon. But guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know when we post some Disney Pinnacle content for your faces. Not too many people doing Disney Pinnacle YouTube videos. So glad to be helping that ecosystem out, making as much content awareness for the project because we're starting to really love it, starting to get to know the team a little bit more, and think that it is a lot of fun and has potential to have a lot of great things coming to the project. You can also become a Superstar VIP, $2.99 a month. Hit the join button underneath the video. It's $2.99 and you get a star next to your name. The longer you hold on to that membership, the more entries you will get into the giveaways every single month. Follow us on X, follow us on Instagram, join the Discord. In Discord, we have a very active Disney Pinnacle chat. Sometimes you got Alan from the team there coming in and chatting it up. So if you have questions for the Disney Pinnacle team, right now, not as open of a communication as we would like, for everybody here, but I mean, it is cool to see Alan going out making his rounds. He's on their official Discord as well. You can go talk to him. You can talk to other people who are loving the Pinnacle app as well. And you can let them know your thoughts and what you think of the Disney Pinnacle app. Where's it going? What's the direction? How is it going to move forward?
And make sure you stop by the security chat. We've got a security challenge going right now. It's not too late. You can still enter. Go into the security chat. Week 4 is actually over with, but you can now go in there. Even you could do any of these. Let Rich at Holy for Jolie know, and you're gonna have a chance to win one of the ultimate prizes at the end. So guys, just make sure you guys join the Discord. You won't regret it.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess what we wanted to talk about here is some potential utility for Disney Pinnacle that might not be like the utility that you're thinking of, because nobody's really ever done this type of utility in the entire space. And I think this would be something that would be very, very catchy. It would be something that would be exclusive. It would be something that would really get people paying attention to digital collecting. Rob, so do you have the video there with you? How do you want to start this?
Well, I'm going to just remind everybody what happened. So what happened was I did a video about D23. I talked a lot about utility at the time. And shout out at NathanJones.eth. We added him so many times. He watches the videos. How you doing, Nathan? Thanks again for this comment. But you triggered Joe. Joe wasn't here. And you bothered him so much with this comment that he wants to get his 2 cents in. So actually, right before this, we pull it up, and he says, he basically made – let me just find – here it is. I would like to hear your thoughts about this. I personally think utility would be bearish. So he talks a little bit about why, but I think that he ultimately is just interested in collecting only. So he's worried utility is going to run the prices up, and then it's going to be more expensive for him to buy. So he's saying that utility could potentially be bearish for the project. What do you think, Joe?
I could see your point, but I don't think that I don't think that people in general, and I don't think even Alan understood what we meant by utility for the Disney Pinnacle app. What we mean by utility is having a reason to hold your collection, to have a reason to interact with your collection, maybe not even necessarily a hold, but have a reason to want to utilize your collection, right? So one great example, and we've seen it already been kind of tested out at D23, was those digital pin boards. That is an amazing utility. The utility being that you get interaction, social cues. I mean, think about Pokemon Go. It's something very similar. It gets you out of the house. It gets you going to collect Pokemon in random places. It gets you doing tasks. I think Pinnacle can follow some kind of a very similar type of roadmap where you have tasks to complete. Maybe you get these digital pin boards in the parks, or maybe in downtown Disney, or maybe in Disney Springs, and anywhere. Maybe you have these pin boards anywhere at a Disney store or anywhere that sells Disney products. They have these digital pin boards. And if you go and make a trade at one of these locations, then you get maybe XP or something for something. And then you collect XP over time. And then you can maybe redeem that XP for another digital pin that's exclusive that you can then trade. So like having these events or these places where you can go to have interaction with these digital pin board, that's a huge utility. It doesn't really, if they can embed that into a park, can you imagine you're in lines all the time? You go to Disney World, what is it? You're waiting in lines. You're waiting in lines to go on rides. Can you imagine having these pin boards in the lines and you're digitally trading with people who are in line ahead of you because they just traded on this pin board, they left it behind, and then you get there and you're like, oh, look at the pins on this board. You move up another 25 minutes in the line, there's another pin board. People would love this type of thing. Look at them at D23 just enjoying it. This is obviously a little bit of a more manual mode. You're pointing at it, they transfer the pins that way. But if they could figure out a way to make this into something that you could transfer the pins just by tapping it and then scanning a QR code with your phone or something like that, I think this is the future of utility for Disney Pinnacle. I think this is where it goes. Not necessarily that you have to have physical pins. Maybe that's a one-off. Maybe that's something that you can do down the line. But when we're talking utility, we're talking ways to utilize your collection, or reasons to hold your collection, or ways to get engagement from your community. I think that digital pin board, first time I saw this video, I thought that was an amazing idea. And if I see this as the utility Pinnacle is going to have. And then if they were able to do anything like the tasks, like I said, like from Pokemon Go, where you do certain things, maybe you go to 5 different rides at the park, or you trade at 5 different kiosks or whatever. They can do whatever they want. Digital is very unique to physical, because you can go trade a physical pin at a pin board and in Disney World and nobody knows that you did it. But digitally, you can leave that stamp, or it could track it in the background with the blockchain tech. Like, this is what we want to see, and this is how I think the future of utility comes to Disney Pinnacle.
Yeah, so I love this board idea, because if you think about what Dude Lift said, he said that I think only 5% of the people that he met actually even heard of Disney Pinnacle. So that was the extreme minority of people that knew about Disney Pinnacle. The majority of people were your typical normies. They didn't know much about it, but they really loved the interaction of digital pins. And I think with the parks, the amount of volume of people that go to the parks, I think Disney Pinnacle could really capitalize on something special here. If they can find their way in the parks, very similar to how Lorcana has done it. How Lorcana is directly in the parks. They're at D23. They've become quite popular within the Disney community. I think Disney Pinnacle wants to take that same approach. If they can get one of these boards in the parks, they can go a long way. Maybe it doesn't even stop there. Is it possible they can get these boards in some Disney stores as well? I don't know. Maybe right beside the pin section where you sell, you have a board where you can buy digitally as well. Even though, the marketplace doesn't exist yet, it probably will eventually exist one day. And then that is just scalable, right? This trading platform is scalable. As long as you have a board, you can give literally anything. You can randomize it. And when you do trades, it's an interesting idea, because you may increase the supply of mints if you're not careful. So they're going to have to come up with a way to do it where, they must have some kind of like base account, which is just constantly accepting and just recycling these pins rather than creating new pins, so that you don't adjust mint numbers, and that will affect people who are currently owning the stuff right now. What's that, Joe?
I would see it being exactly how it is now at the parks, where you get there's boards there, and then somebody puts their pin on that board, takes a pin, and then that pin's left there, and you just keep going. So it is what it is. Maybe they do we know that they hold back pins. Maybe those are the pins that they utilize for these boards in these locations. I think this is the future. I think it makes the most sense. The other thing we're not talking about is that we're expecting to have a marketplace here. I mean, when's the last time there was a marketplace, like a one-stop shop marketplace for physical pin collectors? There's not. I mean, you got to go on eBay. You got to go to these pin trading stores. You got to go somewhere like unique to be able to have a place to say, like, look, this is where I'm going to go for a pin. That would eliminate it. This is digital. You go to Disney Pinnacle. You want to go to the marketplace. It's right there. You want to buy a pin. It's right there. You can buy directly from the store if you want to go for these chase items or whatever it is. But at the same time, if you want to sell to get some more whatever they end up using as their currency here, you can do that as well. And I think that will make it unique. And I think that's what's going to stand out to the physical pin collectors, because right now people say, well, what's this little digital pin app? Who wants digital pins? You embed these digital pins into those parks, into the lineups, into the stores. You put them everywhere, these boards. You put them everywhere. People are going to pay attention. People are going to notice, and they're going to say, hey, I want one of these, because now I have this special exclusive pin. And not only that, I could sell it. I could sell it directly through the app. I don't have to worry about scrappers, the fake pins. I don't have to worry about going through eBay, packaging, doing all this stuff. This is where digital is going to make an intersection with physical, and people are going to notice. This little pin app that people think is maybe the most silliest NFT app out there might be the one app that could actually make a dent into IRL and make people start to pay attention. Because I think that integration, if Alan, if you guys at Roham and Radima, if you guys can push this in, even just start it off with like one little store, put it in like, I don't know, an ice cream shop there, do it, like just get it in there. I think the traction will be automatic. I think this is something that you put that in the lines. Like I said, that's the place. You get that where people are waiting. They're doing nothing anyways. They're going to want to start trading pins. And I think the physical pin people are going to even start to pick this up once they find out there's a marketplace.
Don't forget, you talk about the little itty bitty pin project, but look at the behemoths that are running it. You got Dapper Labs. You got guys that are extremely familiar, who've been in the NFT space longer than anyone, because of their history with it. So you're dealing with some serious players in the game, and I'm very confident that the team has what it takes to build this project into something where they can integrate possibly with the parks. I don't know if they're going to, but I think they have what it takes as a team to be able to convince Disney to let them do that. I really hope they become Lorcana, right? That popularity, that collecting popularity, but just the pure digital version of it. And I think that people are craving that kind of interaction more than the actual digital pins themselves. I think people, just these normies going to the park and seeing that board and just having the fun of that interaction, and that it's almost like park gamification. And it's such a small thing. If you think about it, it's not really that hard to set up. Once they allow the board to be there, it's probably a very simple trading system, but people love the gamification of being able to go to the park and do that, just like how they love trading their pins. Sometimes they might want to do it just for the fun of going up to a cast member to do the trade. It's just, it's just fun to be able to have that interaction. And then at these boards, I'm sure you will naturally turn to the guy beside you and be like, hey, can I scan your barcode? Because maybe we can make some more trades. The one you just took off that board, I'll make you another offer for it because I wanted it instead. Or I'll make you a trade for something. What do you got? Right? Yeah. So I could see a lot of community engagement resulting from a board in some location.
We've already seen community engagement in the few times that trading's been open, getting to know a lot of new people. Now they've added the texting into the trading platform there. So very cool. But I mean, the thing with physical pins is that trading, it stops when you leave the park. When you leave your vacation, you go home, you're not really trading pins anymore. With digital, you can continue to do that. They have the training events. I'm sure they'll probably figure out a way, if they do end up going with these pin boards that are available for trades, to have embedded pin boards into the app where you just go almost like the rotating store. Maybe they have a rotating pin board, and every once in a while it has pins on it. You go there, you want to trade with them, it automatically accepts a trade of whatever they do there. So I think the sky's the limit here. And I think that D23 video that Dude Lifts did, this one with the boards here, just really, really opened my eyes to what could be the biggest utility in the space in general. And I think that people, when they hear us say utility, they think we mean something else. And I wanted to make this video because I want us to be very clear here. By utility, we do not mean give out free physical pins. Maybe that's sometimes as promotional, whatever you want to do, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about having use cases for your pins and the platform in general. If it's just collecting pins that do nothing and nothing happens ever, that's what we're talking about when we say no utility. So hopefully we cleared this up for whoever's watching this video. Let us know in the comments, what do you guys think about this type of utility? Is this different utility than you ever thought of? And how do you see that blowing up if they are able to secure any kind of deal in the parks? I mean, they were next to Disney Lorcana and the Disney Pin Store at D23, both of which are at Disney in the parks and in the Disney Springs and downtown Disney. So I think it's not too far-fetched that if they were to pitch something like this, or just show Disney this video, guys, and then maybe they'll be like, wow, these guys, this is what we need to do, make our lines a little bit more entertaining, and let us know. But I think this is very, very cool.
I really think the days of just putting out, NFT and people buying it as a expression of themselves online is over. I think those days are long gone. I think we've entered now into the new frontier where you got to put out NFTs that actually the verification of ownership actually means something. You got to have some kind of utility, some kind of, gamification is a great form of utility. What you mentioned isn't the only utility, but free stuff is also a form of utility. Literally any form of utility of giving people a reason to hold these things so that normies want to hold them. That's going to be the new frontier, because anybody who wants to just express themselves online, that's saturated now. They're done. That market's tapped into. It's time to move on to the next phase, which is how you're going to bring in more people. It's going to be utility. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think. And before you go, don't forget, become a superstar. Smash subscribe button. Enjoy the Superstar fam. Hit the bell notification button to get every single video, every single day. Also, Superstar VIPs, $2.99 a month. Start beside Max. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Take care. See you next one. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.